Greetings and welcome to episode 57 of the Manic Puppy Podcast. We are your source for all things gaming, geek culture, and pure madness. Tonight, we will be covering Sony's E3 press conference for 2016. It's going to be an awesome night. We're going to be jumping into all the exclusives they've announced, all the crazy stuff. So if you've been with us, we've already covered EA. We've already covered Bethesda. We just finished covering Microsoft. Now we're going to dive into the PlayStation.
Yes.
Are you guys ready?
I'm hyped. Let's do it.
Cool. Joining me tonight is my brother Ryan.
Hey, everyone.
Mr. Wiggles.
Hello.
And live from Brooklyn, Mick Chalou.
Yo.
Yo. Oh, that's a new one. Cool. Me, myself.
I could come up with.
That's what you could come up with?
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll give it to you. It's late. Me, myself, I'm Justin. These are the boys, the Manic Puppies. We're going to break down E3 for you. So, the first thing I noticed, aside from the elegance in the class, we got Jon Snow. Actually, no, I'm kidding. Bayard McQuarrie did the music there, the conducting for the very first game. Yep. But man, he looked like Snow. Did you see that hair? The locks on that guy?
I'm hearing a little bit of jealousy right now, Mr. Justin. That's
hair
what
envy.
I'm hearing.
Hair envy, yeah.
Yeah, jealousy's real.
But we're in this gorgeous hall. You know, we see this red curtain, and you hear this music start coming up. It's a full live orchestra.
Yep.
You got the symphony playing, and it's so powerful and strong. And if anyone's ever played the Sony Santa Monica God of War series, you know all those games start with those kicking drums and just deep strings. And you already know what it was.
Talk about classy, though. That's all I have to throw out. Like, when I was like, this is classy. I love it.
God of War comes, and it's not coming in fully swinging, packing punches. It's a more like subtle God of War, and you're not even sure what it is entirely. But Ryan, you had mentioned it to me because I watched it.
I thought it was Last Guardian.
Yeah.
The initial whatever it was, and then you hear this deep voice in the back of the cabin, and it was like Foghorn Leghorn sounding Kratos.
Yeah.
So to see him come back, and the feedback that I'm hearing initially from the community and from myself included is the humanity that they're giving Kratos and the personality that they're giving him.
Right. All
of a sudden, reestablishing this franchise, and people care about Kratos and his feelings.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's Kratos, but
we'll
find out. I don't know.
It has to be.
I still don't think it's him.
So the tattoos are in the exact same spot.
Maybe
he's bald, he's fairly ripped the same way, and like the voice actor, it's a new voice actor, but they're still giving it the same cadence, that raspy, like.
I don't know, maybe they both found a really good tattoo artist, and they just got the same detail.
Justin, do you want to explain Kratos, why his skin's ash white?
It's his dead family is what it is. The white ash is supposed to be the dead family, and then the scar is like, the blood. It's like It's his curse because he basically sacrificed his family to the gods. Not necessarily, but it was a trick that was played on him by Ares. Like, if you want all this power, he said yes to it without knowing what would happen. So God of War has been this revenge story on going back and fighting for your family. But in the meantime, they lost his motivation. It was just this crazy man, Calliope, like screaming all the time, and that's not what people. It is 2016 now with these video game characters. We want to invest a little more. Like, look at Joel in The Last of Us. Yeah. And I don't want to spoil anything, but within 20 minutes of that game, you don't care what happens. You are gonna fight. You are gonna fight for your family, and that's it. And I think they're building this compassion around Kratos. And I also have a theory that boy isn't gonna make it.
Let's hear Sean's.
I think an opposite theory.
Yes.
Of
yeah.
course.
So you're
I love your theory. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I totally that happens. Totally makes sense. But
right.
And it's just something like, it was not my own theory. Like, someone mentioned online, I think it'd be cool.
Right.
Is that they think by the end of the game, let's say the boy gets taken, right?
Let's say it.
And Kratos needs to go get him.
Right.
By the end of the game, because this is, I like to think, is a relaunch to the God of War series.
Yeah, there's no God of War 4, no God of War.
It just says God of War and then it has Nordic signing. So
right.
What if somebody kills Kratos, and now the boy takes on that curse, for instance, or something along those lines.
With these
and it's
Nordic
vengeance for you killed my father.
I like that a lot.
And now he actually becomes, the next God of War in the next 2 or 3 games, essentially.
That's sick. I would almost prefer that, honestly.
I think it's super cool.
That sounds really cool. But you don't know if it's Kratos, remember?
Again, that's true. Speculation.
God damn, though. That beard, man.
Yeah, that beard is fierce.
Yeah, that beard puts yours to shame, man.
Oh,
So I started off with hair envy. Now you guys are going to emasculate my beard.
Yeah,
man.
Mick just went there.
I'm done.
No, I mean, you got a
it
great
for-
beard, but there's nothing that can compete with that one.
Yeah.
No, man. The way he wielded that axe, that axe that was infused with, like,
sick.
Thor's
Like
lightning.
magic. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The one thing I noticed, or the first thing I noticed, was, like, he's less yoked, like, than
Yeah.
the old
Yeah.
God of War.
Yeah.
But still somehow looks more intimidating.
It's like
I think it's all a product of the beard.
Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. He's just emasculating everyone he walks by. But I
that's
mean,
Kratos. That's what he does.
like you guys said, it's Nordic now, so it's not. There's no one left to kill in Greek mythology of any
He
importance.
literally
at least.
killed the man himself.
So they did the smartest thing they could do. It's like, hey, what if we just this game works? The mechanics work. We don't really need to change much of that. Let's just take this in a new mythology, which is it's so awesome. What I'm excited about, the camera angle is not
for
fixed
sure.
anymore. I recently
that
tried
third-person view,
yes,
right?
Yes, I tried to play through God of War 3 recently and remastered, and I was having fun, but I was just like, that's right. These games, like in this era, had this camera angle that was kind of locked. This was like third-person, Last of Us-esque, like control of your person. You have a full rotation of the camera with Kratos, so I think that's going to open up a whole new bunch of doors.
Again, like we said, relaunch. So, why not go with a new type of camera view? Why not try out a few new things, essentially?
Yeah.
So, I think it's going to work.
I want a Kratos statue. I want
With
the
that
collector's
beard?
edition. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine if the collection edition, statues, just the beard itself? It's no
beard.
Kratos or
A
anything.
beard
just,
and an axe.
Just the beard and an axe.
I would get it, man. Like, so it's a big week for me. Listeners, if you've been listening a while, you know my obsession with God of War. Like, I have been wanting this for 3 years now, since PS4 come out. So I get God of War 4 and I get Larry David. Curb Your Enthusiasm's coming back in 1 week. I'm good. You don't have to. 2016.
You're having a hell of a week.
Nothing, and the Xbox One S, like, guys, I'm good. You don't have to tell me anything more. This is going to be a good year for me regardless. So.
But you said, you've been waiting on that game, and I think this is how Sony really opened up the conference and set the table for the rest of everything that they were doing.
Right.
It was pretty much like the Arby's commercial that you watch and you hear the bass lines and the hard drums and it comes in, we got the meats.
Yeah.
Sony might as well have played that song and said, we got the games.
Shout out to Pusha T.
Because they came in and it was just, I think they were just dropping hammers and nukes and whatever you want to say that they were dropping.
Yeah.
Because
Nukes.
They were dropping nukes. All presentation, and they were answering, hey, we hear you guys. These are the games you want. We're making them.
Right.
Please enjoy what we've been working on.
Yeah. And
Back after back after back.
Yeah, it was a big. I guess we said it right in the Xbox One hardware.
Yeah.
And this was really just like, here are the games that you were getting.
Very game. And the games spoke for themselves. Like, I didn't see anyone from Sony Santa Monica. Like, you saw them pan away, and you saw one of the developers from Santa Monica sitting there smiling like, this is my creation.
He was playing
I love
the game.
this.
Yeah.
Playing the game. But he didn't say, hi, I'm so-and-so from Sony Santa Monica, and this is the engine, and this is why it works. It was like, no. The games are going to speak for themselves. Like, it was a very classy presentation.
I mean, hear that the crowd go nuts afterwards. So that's all he needed. He was like, okay, my work's done.
Yeah.
And they managed to squeeze in a live orchestra.
Yeah, like, who
The
does
sound
that?
mixing on that was so, like, just imagine the nightmare of matching up a live orchestra with the sound of a game and having them match.
Yeah, that's insane.
Hey, they made it work.
Yeah.
And it all
did
ran
it.
like a Swiss watch, too. Like, down to the line. The infamous Uncharted 4 hiccup at Sony's last E3.
Oh, yeah.
So funny that they incorporated a trophy.
the
What's it
trophy
called?
data.
Uncharted 4.
Stage fright?
Stage fright, yeah.
Yeah.
30 seconds pass while you sit idle.
At the exact spot of the demo. That's so cool.
So that for you, that was your big hype.
That was
Gears
my
of
big
War.
hype. I mean, and then Sean Layden rolls out afterwards. And I thought it was nice. Both conferences did this. He came out and he let the Orlando community know that, like, Sony is present to help the LGBT community, and kind of bring everyone together. And I thought that's super important that both of the big dogs acknowledge that at their press conferences. And Manic Puppy here, we're out of Orlando, so we have been really feeling it, and to hear things like that, it really helps. So we want to go ahead and extend that olive branch, and that we feel the exact same way. We are here for you. Hit us up in the comments. We are just trying to keep the Orlando community strong and feeling the love. So it's nice to see that was bouncing back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Following that, we had Days Gone. And if you guys listen to PS I Love You, XOXO, I know Colin Moriarty was absolutely losing his shit when Sony Bend went across the stage, because he has been conspiring that this game was going to come out for so long, and finally they've announced it.
Yeah, I gotta say, for me personally, this was really the game that I was like, I want this game.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when they did the demo at the end of the actual conference. They're like, oh, by the way, we actually have a demo for you guys to see real quick before you go.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I mean, I expect this maybe like, it's post-apocalyptic, humans suck, you're fighting each other. Zombies! I was like, okay. And not only just like a few. It was like a wave of zombies. Not only that, but he's actually voice acted by one of my favorite actors, Sam Witwer. He was actually the voice of like Darth Maul in the animated series.
Oh, wow.
He's also a series of the Sci-Fi Channel, stuff like that.
I didn't catch that. That's pretty dope.
So when I saw that, I was like, that is awesome. I'm such a fan of him too. So I was like, that was really the game that I was like, I want that. I want that game.
And I was just, I think we've used this in the past week way too much, but blown away is the way I felt when I seen those hordes of zombies breaking out.
Yeah, man.
And the way that demo was played so strategically, and to show off exactly what they wanted to show off with the interactive and the destructible environment all working in your favor as the player to pick these zombies off one by one. And when it came to that narrow bridgeway of like, oh shit, this is the last stand.
This is it. This is it.
I my chin hit the floor.
He pulled it off too. We talked about it. He played with moxie and chutzpah.
I would have loved it. What was the back and forth banter like of you guys watching that?
It was pretty much what I just said and then what he just said. It was, and then it was a bunch of screaming and cursing.
Like, what?
It just kept getting better. That demo.
Yeah.
And it was at the end of this whole press conference. So we got teased, you got the backstory, the motorcycle, he's a drifter now, reflecting on what happened. And then that gameplay footage was...
Yeah, that was awesome. And I love, too, he was like, bring it on! Like, it's the idea, like, this is my last stand. Like, I don't know, I'm such a fan. So
it's cool, man. Like,
it's the game.
It's a motorcycle chapter, and these guys are brothers to the end. That's the whole mentality of joining a club or a charter, is that these are your brothers, and they come first. And I was really big into Sons of Anarchy for a while, and kind of saw that culture from that point of view. And those guys will go down for one another. So to see how they are going to survive in this type of world where it's like, yourself versus everyone else, is going to be really interesting.
Yep. I'm excited.
Looking forward to that. Their last game, I think, was Uncharted Golden Abyss.
Yes.
It's on Vita. So it has been a long time cooking for these guys. This is going to have the polish that you get with a first-party Sony game.
Yeah. And another thing me and Mick touched on is this game wasn't possible last generation. So the last time they were working on a game, they couldn't have made this, not on the engine.
No.
To have that many zombies, this type of zombie game was impossible to make until this console generation.
I agree.
And so I'm glad to see that they're taking it and doing it right. Because you can, Dead Rising does the same thing with hordes of zombies and stuff.
So many zombies.
But they don't flood into you and have the, killer instinct like Dark Souls enemies would, except that all programmed individually into zombies.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands in one setting.
That's going to be awesome. So moving forward, we had the infamous, at this point, it's not a joke, but it's like, how many E3s has this game been to? Of course, we had The Last Guardian was shown. We got some more footage on that game. Mm-hmm. I'm at the point where I'm just like, just come out.
I would have laughed if it had been like, it just like at the end, like for a release date, they'd have been like, one more E3. And it just like left it at that. It's like, look forward to next E3 for a release date.
That would have been dead in the water. If they would have did that, like the game would have been canceled.
But luckily, that didn't happen. And we got a hard release date, October 26th, 2016.
Thank God. And It's going to be an absolutely magical game. All the hype is going to be worth it. It's going to pay out in a huge way, and I'm absolutely going to fall in love with that creature, whatever the hell it is.
Ryan, I think
it's
I'm
a
like
dog bird.
I'm gonna it's a griffin. That's what they said. It's a griffin.
Okay.
Let's get the
That's
real word in
than the
here, right? Don't
bullshit
call
that I
it
just
dog
said.
birds. It's a griffin.
A griffin.
It's a magical beast. Anyway,
Alright.
Ryan, I think I'm gonna let you get this one and watch you play, because by the end of it, I'll be crying, because I can just tell you right
can't
now,
play it.
something's gonna happen,
Well,
and I'll die.
Well, just like the translation alone, I'm not sure what the language was, but the translation reads at the end of the trailer, "What's wrong? Are your wings broken?" And it was like,
It's really kind of goosebumpy there, you know?
I got goosebumps now.
I
like,
get goosebumps. It's just so sweet of a story, and I'm like just falling in love with the idea of the game and the creature itself before I even.
I don't want to love that
know what's
creature,
going on.
man.
It's very beautiful and it's very subtle too. So it's not like in your face. Here's the story. It kind of lets you use your imagination a little bit and like, what do you think's gonna happen?
And yeah, it's your bond with that thing.
Right.
Griffin. Sorry.
I have a theory that Ryan, that's day and date with PlayStation Neo. We had rumors of VR like, hey, it's coming in October. And you have to assume Neo's going to launch aside, and I just think, like, yeah, Last Guardian's out that day. That's the same day PlayStation VR comes out, and that's the same day that the Neo's going to come out, and it's going to just be a big week for PlayStation. That's kind of like we're sorry. This game took, a decade? People bought the PS3 to play it.
Yeah.
It took this long to come out, but here it is, and here are all the new hardware that you can play it with. And there is, I'm not confirming, I'm speculating, there is a VR portion of this game somehow, even if it's first person, like riding.
Hey, we got Gamescom
Griffin.
coming up,
Griffiths.
so that'd be the next thing. Maybe they'll release some little bit more deets.
Very exciting.
October 25th, 2016. Key takeaway, as Mick had mentioned earlier.
Yep. After that, we got some new Horizon Zero Dawn footage. So that game is Guerrilla, the guys that did Killzone.
Game looks awesome.
Looks amazing, man. Like, it's running in the Shadowfall engine. Clearly can see that there with all the colors and the oranges are really deep in that game. It's so beautiful. It's going to be killer. Like, we got mechs that overtook the world at some point, and we are resorted back to being the scavenger. But we know about technology, so I'm curious to see, like, what the hell happened to put civilization at the brink of almost being
extinct.
Like hunters again. Yeah, like what happened? So I think that looks really cool. And it's like you're mounted on this bull, or I don't know what you want to call it, but damn, man, like you can fight on.
I called it a space elk.
A space elk. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean that's cool, and you can also like craft mid combat, so like you can craft parts of or hack mid combat.
Yeah. So basically, what it was is like, I forget which game it was when you take possession of an animal so that you can ride it, but it's like that except you're
Shadow of
hacking.
Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor. Yeah. You
That's a good example.
dominate it.
Yeah,
Except you do it with hacking.
that's awesome.
But that's cool because it looks like you can ride it, but it also is your ally, so it fights alongside you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can ride on it to actually shoot and stuff like that, arrows. And
Yeah.
I mean, that game it was just a beautiful game too.
Yeah.
Like, what was it at the end? I think someone said it looked like the Lion King. The
Pride Rock moment.
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to see some RPG elements in it too, which was interesting, like in the conversation trees that you have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So I think that's the one I'm most excited about as a new IP. Well, a brand new IP with like no new character, because there's one other game that's coming out that I'm really excited about, and it's technically a new IP.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And that's the big
It's that
close.
that web slinger.
Yes, he was.
So
Yeah,
let's move.
sir.
Let's move forward to Quantic Dreams. Detroit Become Human. These are the guys. Heavy Rain. They did the Ellen Page game. The name is evading me right now. Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So this game actually opened up a little bit more. It was revealed to us last year. It was very, very quick. But we're seeing all of these optional
different
outcomes that can happen through conversation. And
Yeah.
this little girl's getting thrown off this building. No, she's not. This time the guy's getting shot. Oh no, this time actually they're just gonna go their separate ways. So it's gonna be really powerful. It was nice to kind of just let that game do all the speaking instead of seeing David Cage up there. Kind of over-explain his game a little bit. Sometimes he does tend to do that. So again, it was nice to just, hey, here's the game, check it out,
Yeah.
move on to the next thing. Game looks super cool, kind of creepy.
And the amount of scenarios was just unbelievable. When you figure that's just for one scene. one outcome to lead to that point. And then they showed the string of choices that you can make that lead to the ultimate, final outcome. And just the fact that they can do that with games nowadays is
blows your mind.
Yeah, blows my mind.
And my girlfriend was walked in during that part of the conference, and she's like, "That looks really cool." Not much of a gamer, but just the idea. It's like it's like a film, Wow, I would love to see what happens with those characters. So easily accessible for most people. But what I'm really, really excited to get into is this next game that was covered.
That no one expected.
No one
knew
was not what the hell it was.
Supposed to. No. PT. That's what we thought it was.
It's PT. It's Outlast 2.
No,
it's Resident Evil 7.
Yeah, man.
Biohazard. No one was ready for that. It's fully VR capable, and it's like Resident Evil's going back to its roots of being a survival horror, like a thrilling game.
Yeah.
And I think it's super exciting. I mean, I thought Kojima was behind it for a second, and when you think that man's behind something,
you know it's about to get
horror.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And that's why so many people thought it was PT. They're like, oh, this is his game. He's about to pop out. He's about to show us. And it was like, no, but hey, it's Resident Evil. And I remember just watching it with you, Justice, because we were sitting there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, this is really creepy. All of a sudden, the guy walks across, and I was like, nope, something's about to go. Here we go. Nope.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's about to happen. And then she grabs a VCR, puts it in, and you're like, okay.
That's when I thought it was Outlast, because you carried that
the tape recorder all the time. And all of a sudden, nope, it was just like, oh, what'd you see? And it ends right there, and it just does a 7 sign. And it does it in slowly pops up, and it goes Resident Evil 7. I remember everyone we were with were threw their hands up, they're like, oh! And I was like, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really sneaked that in there.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
And the VR, a lot of the VR games that we have seen demos for, they're cool, it's realistic, but it's not the level of polish in that kitchen scene. Because that kitchen scene was the full VR.
Mm-hmm.
Looked incredible.
It looked like the game.
Yeah, and I mean, this is coming out January 24th, so this is right around the corner, and everyone's super, super excited. So I'm ready to rock on that. And PlayStation Plus owners can play the demo right now.
Yeah.
So go download it.
And it is being streamed like crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone's streaming. Everyone wants to watch it, comment, see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be great for the Twitch and the streaming community, along with just gamers in general and the VR development. So it's just breaking barriers down left and right.
I personally cannot wait for us to crack it open.
Oh, it's exciting.
Tonight. I mean, because we're going to do this. Now it's dark out. It's pitch black.
That's right.
Turn off all the lights.
Ooh, you guys are going to be so scared.
Pop that baby in.
We're going to be watching some spookies.
And literally just pee my pants. But luckily, I won't be alone to do it.
Yeah.
I'll change you,
Sean, I'll be honest. If you piss yourself, you're on your own.
Oh, man.
You're on your own. I want nothing to do with you. Moving along here. This is actually confirming me being wrong. Remember how I said day and date PSVR would come out with Last Guardian? I was wrong.
It happens.
We found out that the PSVR is coming October 13th. Incredibly competitive price point.
Yeah, man.
I mean, if you already have the box, the Oculus... cutting the cost in half, Mick. I mean, some of them are $600-$700.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But if you already have the console, you're halfway there, and we're gonna have 50 games out for the VR experience within 2016. So calendar year closing, there will be 50 games playable, which is a pretty healthy library for if you're looking at it as a console launch.
It's good. It's good to see that that's getting such a compared to the Move or your other new peripheral experiences, it's getting a lot of support right off the bat, and I think that's something that VR needs, because it's in a stage where it needs to prove itself if it's going to actually be something. We've talked this over a million times. It needs to prove itself.
Yeah,
100%.
And it's going to have a library that can possibly prove itself.
Yeah. And they actually told us a few games that they're like, yo, this is what's coming.
These were those killer apps. Remember we'd be talking what is sell me on VR? What are these killer apps?
Yeah, they got me. They got me though.
They got you.
They made me want to buy it up right now.
Mark Hamill,
that Batman Arkham Asylum for VR. You get to be Batman.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. When I heard him, I was like, "Is this a Killing Joke game?"
Right.
I know,
because that's coming out.
What is going on? You know what I mean? But that is one of the ones that I'm incredibly excited for. So we got Batman coming out, and then there's a game called Farpoint.
Yes,
it's a PlayStation VR exclusive, so that's going to be really exciting. And then to wrap up the lines that we were like, holy shit, Mick, X-Wing VR. Like, where's your mind at right now?
I was sold off the bat. I told Ryan, I was like, well, I'm budgeting $300 away.
Yeah, the budget that you just flush the old one down the toilet and you gotta drop a new one. Hey, but that's what E3 does. Hey. E3 says, you know what?
Your games now suck.
Every game that you own sucks, and yes, I need all the new ones.
Well, Mick, on that note, we're going to close out our YouTube session here. So, YouTube, it's been hella awesome checking in with you. You can get the rest of this episode on our podcast. So, just go to manicpuppypodcast.com. Check us out, SoundCloud, Google Play, all of your favorite podcasting outlets. Download our E3 Sony episode. You'll get the rest. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.